Let's get to your New York Jets now. I got some breaking news from Source. Once again, this is journalism. Yesterday, some videos hit the internet of Aaron Rodgers taking off his shoes and his socks. Oh no, is the Achilles? Is there something wrong with the Achilles? Again, then there was some reps. Was he running at full speed? Did he look like his Achilles was hurting a little bit more? From the Source says that I have, blister prevention, potential lingering effects from COVID toe.
Oh, no.
Do not know if this is lingering effects from COVID toe. That is from a anonymous source. Says, when you see that video and when you see anything out of the New York Jets OTAs, what are your thoughts? And are we back to the hype that we were last year before 4 plays in, it all ends, Greeny?
Yes, we are right back there. We are as hopeful as we have ever been in a very, very long time. Not since 1999 have I been as hopeful for what except for last year, have I been as hopeful for what a Jet season could be, because this team, frankly, is better than it was a year ago. And we even are built to survive a normal quarterback injury. A COVID toe is one thing. A torn Achilles is another thing entirely. A more normal injury, like a turned ankle that costs us 2 or 3 weeks, which most quarterbacks are going to have, the Jets actually are prepared with a legitimate backup quarterback this time in Tyrod Taylor. So I am extraordinarily hopeful about the Jets. I had not seen that video until your sources just shared it with me now, and it disturbed me greatly. We need Aaron wrapped in bubble wrap. I need him just kept like, remember there was, when I was young, you guys are too young, there was a movie called The Boy in the Plastic Bubble starring John Travolta, where like they literally didn't let him out. He couldn't be in contact with people for fear of germs. That's where I want Rodgers from now until the opener in San Francisco on Monday night.
See, our generation had Bubble Boy, so it's very
Seinfeld. Same idea, yeah.
No, the movie. There was a whole movie, Bubble Boy. I do.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, but like obviously, Mom a little bit. A little bit over
remake. Yep.
We need to make. I guess this seems to be generational. About time for another one. We need
another bubble movie.
Yeah, we need another bubble movie. Maybe Aaron's the one.
Greeny, so your expectations this year compared to last year, I hope you're actually even more excited this year. But I guess, what do you think? Like, what is a success for the New York Jets, and what's your biggest worry about this team right now heading into the season?
I mean, the biggest worry, I think, honestly, is the coaching. The Jets are better. Their roster is better than it was a year ago. Obviously, Rodgers has to be healthy. I mean, the pieces they've added, you don't need me to run over all of the offensive linemen that they got and the one that they drafted and Mike Williams, who they signed. The defense should be absolutely outstanding. They should be by far the best defense that Aaron Rodgers has ever played with. So, we need Rodgers to be mostly all the way back. I don't know what is a reasonable expectation for a 41-year-old quarterback coming off of an Achilles, but I don't think he has to be peak Aaron Rodgers. The second he walks out on the field, he's going to be the best quarterback the Jets have had in a long time. And so long as he is standing upright, I'm pretty confident he'll be fine. I do worry a little bit about the coaching. I think the jury is very much out on the head coach, on the offensive coordinator, and on everybody else involved. And I count on Rodgers to clean up a lot of that. When he was asked, I forgot what show, someone showed me a clip. He was on a show recently, and they asked him, why should fans trust Nathaniel Hackett? And Aaron's answer was, because I do, and you should trust me. And that's a great answer. I mean, everything about the Jets, beyond the talent on the field, has to come together because Rodgers pulls it all together. I still believe it all fell apart last year because it was all built around him. He is like the sun, and everything else is orbiting around him.
The hemoglobin, yeah.
And that's exactly the way it should be. That's the Jets' best chance. We've tried handing this franchise to a lot of different people over the last 50 years. No one's been able to do it. Let's give it to one of the players who's actually proven he knows how to do it, and let's follow him. So I'm 100% on board with all of that. But I think that would be, aside from the obvious injury concerns, which every team has, the Jets have some injury-prone players they brought in, Tyron Smith and Mike Williams and others. Every team has those to some degree. But if the Jets, the start of the schedule is tough. 3 games in 11 days, 2 of them on the road to start the season. I worry a little bit about it starting badly and then some negative vibes creeping in, and hopefully that not becoming a real issue. But all things considered, to answer the beginning of your question, AJ, this is the best team the Jets have had in 20 years, at least. This is better than any of the teams Herman Edwards took to the playoffs or the one that Eric Mangini did or any of the teams Rex Ryan took to the AFC Championship game. They're just better players. That's not even debatable. So the AFC is loaded. A successful. I think the Jets have to get to the playoffs and at least win a game for it to be a success. I think anything short of that would be a failure. Very hard for me to sit here and say if they win a playoff game and then they lose a heartbreaker to Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes or someone like that, that the season is a failure. That's hard to. Or Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis, or C.J. Stroud in Houston, or the guy who's going to take over the league at some point, which is Justin Herbert, I think, for Harbaugh in L.A. Eventually, I think he's going to be. He's got the best coach now, so I have a huge fear of him. So I think anything short of that would be a major disappointment.
Just go back to one of the things you talked about with Aaron saying, I trust Hackett, so you guys should. And obviously, you haven't really had the opportunity to watch an entire season of Aaron Rodgers football and everything like that. He very much views like the West Coast offense as like art, and like a painter has to be a part of it. And he and Hackett have grown up in that system together. So like he sees, like he even last year, whenever the offense looked completely inept and everybody was like, what the hell is Hackett? How, does this guy even know what football is after what happened in Denver and it was happening last year? You talk to Aaron, I think Aaron says, you look at some of those plays, what was supposed to happen would have worked in those. He's not scared to check it down. He's not scared to check it to a run. Like he's not looking to throw for 500 yards every single week. He is taking whatever the best option is for that particular play that he knows the offense of inside and out, and so does Hackett. So I think that's why he has come out in such back in response for Hackett, because I don't know how many people know the West Coast offense as well as Aaron and Hackett do. And asking Russell Wilson to be able to do it in 1 year, I think was a tall task. And then Zach and everybody else for the Jets, it's like tall task. I think that's why Aaron's so confident, because he sees the plays differently than how other people that don't understand what they're trying to do and the potential offense that they're trying to run. I think that is why he's like, I trust him. And I think it's going to look different. I do. Not that it's going to look more explosive, but like he's going to make the right decision for the play. And I think that's a head start over other teams just to begin with. So I got a lot of faith, even though he is old as shit now.
Yep.
I mean, he's the oldest guy, you know what I mean? But I think that helps in this situation, Greeny.
I think everything you just said, I agree with completely. If you were to make a list of the reasons the Jets offense was awful last year, Nathaniel Hackett would barely even be on it. You could have given Bill Walsh that offensive line and that quarterback, and I don't know how much better it all would have looked. They have infinitely better talent. They are infinitely deeper, and they have Aaron freaking Rodgers now. So I'm not at all worried about Nathaniel Hackett. Honestly, I think if the Jets remain mostly healthy, then there is every reason to think that they are one of the two or three best teams in the AFC, right there alongside anyone else you want to name. Houston, I think, is very good. Obviously, I know you love your Colts. The Bengals, I think, will be really good again, and Kansas City is always Kansas City. The Jets are right there with any of them.